Just looking forward to another week in the Big 12. As March nears this February, it's always been our intention to be relative and be a part of the fight. And we put ourselves in a situation where we are. So it starts this week with a road game at Oklahoma State, a program that we have a lot of respect for. Coach Boynton's doing a great job in his first year. They've overcome a lot of adversity, and they're just playing, good basketball right now. In the last couple of weeks, they've won at Kansas and at West Virginia. That kind of thing speaks for itself. But they got good balance, getting good guard play right now, good inside play. And we know that's one of the best home courts in the history of college basketball at Gallagher-Iba. So we're excited of the opportunity this week. We know it's going to be difficult, but we're looking forward to the challenge.
Keenan's day-to-day, I guess you expect him to practice, or I guess what's the update on him?
Yeah, the issues with his foot, it's going to come down to a lot is just just pain tolerance and can he move. Now, we all know Keenan is a warrior, and he's going to do everything he possibly can to play, which I have nothing but confidence. But at the end of the day, it's just kind of how he reacts to his body. So really, if there's such a thing day to day, we're really in that situation. We just literally a couple times a day he tries to kind of go on it, sees how it feels, and we got to eventually get him to a point where he's comfortable enough, to play in pain.
Same thing along the lines of Zach, I guess. What have you seen from him? I know he's been kind of working with the pregame shoot-around. I guess what have you seen from him?
Yeah, just nothing's changed. Just another X-ray this week. He has been able to take his boot off some and just shoot stationary shots and doing a little bit of conditioning just in case we get fortunate here and he has a chance to help the team down the stretch. Wants to try to stay in shape, and he's been able to get in like the exercise bikes and treadmills and things like this that don't put pressure on his foot. So we're just continuing to see how it heals and how quickly it does.
I know you kind of mentioned Oklahoma State. I guess what are some things that you guys have seen from the tape from Waco that you were at least, content with in terms of the way you guys played in that second half without Keenan that you can kind of take away and take some positives from?
Yeah, just like I said, after the game, I stand by it after watching the film, and we played really hard. It was one of our best efforts. Guys were competing. Effort wasn't a problem. Guys really wanted to win. We were trying as hard as we could. I think in the rebound totals that showed. It was just it's a Big 12 one-possession game. We had a chance late and didn't have great offensive execution late, but Baylor made some really good switches and contested shots, so I think you got to give them a lot of credit.
Yeah, just wanted you to touch a little bit more on that. What did you just kind of think overall of your offensive execution there the last 3 minutes or so? What did you like, what you didn't like?
Well, again, I thought any problems we had wasn't because of lack of effort or even lack of execution. We were trying. One of the positions, we got one of our best three-point shooters, an open look. That was good, and we had a really good effort to get the offensive rebound. One of the possessions I thought maybe was a little bit too patient, guys trying to be too unselfish. So it's a fine line. If you get an open jump shot late in the game in this league, you take it, but you also want to have the emphasis to try to get to the free throw line. But obviously our team changed a little bit with Keenan not being in there. But I thought other guys tried to step up. They showed some courage. They wanted to make the play, and I take that as a big positive.
What did you think about Justin in his game? He had one of his better offensive games in a while. What did you think about him and how aggressive he was at times, it seemed like?
Yeah, warrior. One of the best games I've seen Justin play. On defense, he was battling. He was getting loose balls. He was making things happen. He was switching. He guarded all 5 positions in the 40-minute game. And then on offense, he was aggressive. Big play at the end of the first half to make the deficit manageable. Just had some good games. Thought he played about as well as I've ever seen Justin Gray play.
The last time you played Oklahoma State, it was right after those 2 losses to Texas, Iowa State, and it really kicked off this 7-game run you had where you got 7 wins in a row. In that same situation, how important is it to win this game to get some confidence going forward as you close out February?
Yeah, this game's important for one reason, and it's because it's the next game on the Big 12 schedule. So in terms of runs and this or that, this is a good team. This is an Oklahoma State team that has 15 wins. With several opportunities left to get to the 20 win mark in Coach Boynton's first year. It's a team that has 5 Big 12 wins with 4 to go, so they still have a chance. But it's a team that's trying to get in the NCAA tournament, and we know firsthand what a winning streak can do. Oklahoma State themselves had a great late run last year. We had a nice middle of the conference run that put us in this position. So when you win at Kansas and you win at West Virginia in the same 2-week period, that tells you how talented you are. They've got a great home court. I expect that they'll play their best game of the year against us.
Another thing that stands out about Oklahoma State is their experience. They have quite a couple seniors at start. How has that changed compared to when you're playing guys like, say, Bamba that are kind of freshmen? They're kind of young, but these guys are obviously really experienced in the Big 12.
It's just a part of their identity. I would share that opinion that you have. I mean, I think they've also done a great job with their guard, the graduate transfer. He's having one of the biggest impacts of any grad transfer in the country this year, and I think that's another indication of how well coached this team is with Coach Boynton and Coach Sutton and all those guys on that staff are doing a great job with this team. But they're an experienced team, and that normally pays great dividends when you get to late February and March. So, again, I think this is a team that has the potential to really get on a run here. Again, they already have 15 wins in the season. They're having a nice year. This is a team that nobody wants to play when you get to Kansas City. So this team has our full attention. Our guys respect Oklahoma State as much as anybody on our schedule.
What did you think about Jarrett's second half against Baylor the other night? I know he had a couple turnovers and just some kind of uncharacteristic things. But what kind of maybe as a teaching moment is that for him, or just kind of what do you think about his second half?
Yeah, I like the way Culver played. I mean, there's not going to sit up here and act any different when the ball doesn't go in. I mean, if 4 or 5 of those shots go in, he's the player of the game. So Culver is fearless. He's a young guy that approaches this with a great mentality. And so sometimes the mathematical deal on the stat sheet isn't quite the story, but I hope Jarrett keeps taking those shots. I hope he keeps playing with great confidence. We wouldn't be sitting here today in this position if it wasn't for Culver. And so I'm a guy that, understands this game, has highs and lows, and I have a lot of confidence in Jarrett.
Assuming for a minute that Keenan can't play on Wednesday, no one's going to come in and immediately replace his offense? Is it just a situation where everybody needs to go from 4 points to 6 points, or from 8 points a game to 10 points a game? So it's not one individual making up for Keenan, but it's everybody stepping up at the same time?
I just don't think like that. I think Keenan Evans will play Wednesday if he possibly can. So we'll prepare the team like we always do, whether any individual player plays or not. We have a team game plan. We never have like an individual game plan. And so we'll see what happens. But, Keenan's a warrior.
What was that like for you?
Just doing whatever my team needed, whatever Coach Beard asked me to do. I'm ready for those moments, whatever it may be, rebounding, defense, scoring, passing, whatever the team needs me to do in order to win. I'm willing to do it.
In terms of Oklahoma State, what do they do generally? Well,
they push hard in transition. They look to score very quick. They're a great offensive rebounding team, so it's going to be the same story. The first Baylor that we just played, Oklahoma State with McGriff, crashing, and also Carroll crashing from the wing spot. So we're going to have to do a really good job with that. But I mean, besides that, it's going to be the same game plan that we had, the first game, and obviously, just getting back to our defense that we've been playing for the most part this past month.
Justin, after Keenan goes out there to end the first half, you guys seem to really ramp it up even another, step defensively. How well do you feel like you guys played defense against Baylor, especially in that first 10-minute stretch of the second half?
I feel like we played great. We played, well enough to win. We're making good turnovers, and we're scoring off those turnovers. But also we had a lot of turnovers ourselves, which kind of cost us in the end. But for the most part, I think our defensive game plan was executed. Great inside, defense with Norris and myself, and also great rotation, from the other guard spots. But I think I really liked our defense that game.
What was just kind of your thoughts on the last 5 minutes offensively there? What did you like about how you guys were moving or not, and just kind of what you like, what you didn't like about the last 5 minutes offensively for you guys?
Offensively, I thought we moved the ball really well. We were attacking the paint. People were cutting off those attacks. We were getting easy layups, and especially in transition. We were playing really hard on defense, like I said, getting turnovers and executing all those turnovers. But the last 2 minutes, I feel like we're a little stagnant. We weren't really attacking as much, even though we're in the double bonus. So those are some of the things that we're looking from the film, yesterday and the day before, just learning from those and looking to just improve on those in next future games.
Go to the back of the camera. Justin, Coach referenced the huge wins Oklahoma State has had, at KU, at West Virginia. They've probably come home, though, and been kind of confusing at home sometimes. It seems there's very highs and very low lows for this team. How do you pick out what this team's going to do on film when they've kind of been a roller coaster all year?
We're going to expect their best shot. We're in a position now that we have a target on our back, being one of the top teams. So, every game that we have left this season, we're expecting the other team's best shot. So we're preparing for the best.
What specifically from Oklahoma State do they do that you think that could be problematic for you guys, both either offensively or defensively?
Offensively, they push the ball really well, probably the most talented team in transition in the Big 12. And from a defensive standpoint, they play the perimeter really well. So we're going to have to try to attack and break into, whatever they're in the zone or the man, just attack the glass and trying to get as much fouls, free throws as possible, be aggressive, and kind of just get settled in the game environment early on, just to be comfortable.
What's like the most important thing you guys would have to do as a team? Like say if Keenan being out, with him being out, what void is the biggest hole to fill for your team?
It's always rebounding. Rebounding wins Big 12 games. If you get out-rebounded by the other team, your chances to win are diminished drastically. So we're going to have to win that battle.
Along those lines, Justin, does that give you confidence, given that you guys out-rebounded Baylor, even with your small lineup at times, that you put your mind to it, you guys can really do anything in this conference?
Yeah, we know we're a tough team. We don't let size affect us. Everybody's tough. Everybody's willing to do the job, and everybody's willing to step up to the challenge.